moving into the next session, Dr. Ramesh Nigam Memorial Oration. And I would like to welcome the chairpersons, Dr. Khar PB from Kolkata, Dr. Muhammad Ismail from Perindalmanna, Dr. Narain NB from Patna, Dr. Sridhar L from Hyderabad, Dr. Anup KR Saha from Agartala. Topic will be artificial intelligence in surgery, and the speaker of the session is Dr. Kumkum Singh from Ajmer. I welcome all the chairpersons and also the speaker of the session. Requesting Dr. Khar PB to kindly.
Yes. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. We are starting the Padma Shri Ramesh Nigam oration. I'll introduce Dr. Ramesh Nigam, and then our co-chairperson will lead out the biodata of the orator. Dr. Ramesh Nigam was born on 12th December 1920. Dr. Nigam had to interrupt his undergraduate studies at Guy's Hospital during the World War II and joined King George's Medical College, Lucknow, from where he passed MBBS with honors, winning the prestigious Lieutenant Governor Sir John Hewitt Gold Medal in 1942. Dr. Nigam took his MS honors in surgery in 1944 and MD pathology in 1945, both from the same medical college, a testimony to his deep interest beyond the call of surgery. After training in the United Kingdom, he was admitted to the Royal College of Surgeons of England in 1946. He was honored with FSCS in 1958. He started his professional and teaching career at King George's Medical College, Lucknow, and later served the armed forces for a while as captain. He was very popular both as an administrator as well as a teacher. Dr. Ramesh Nigam moved to Nagpur Medical College to serve as professor for 11 years. In 1959, he moved to Delhi as the first professor of surgery at the newly started Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi. Tragedy struck in 1961 when he suffered a retinal detachment and became blind by 1963 at the young age of 44 years. But he continued teaching surgery. In a rare gesture, the government appointed him as a special professor and student counselor. His wife and students kept him updated by reading from the journals. He directed research on organ transplantation and vascular surgery. He served as associate editor of the Indian Journal of Surgery for 20 years, published a book, A Companion in Surgical Studies. Dr. Ramesh Nigam was a governing council member of the ASI. He received Dr. B.C. Rai Award in 1964 and was decorated by the Government of India with Padma Shri in 1972. Dr. Nigam breathed his last on 13 January 1999. His daughter, Dr. Madhuri Nigam, was a professor of cardiothoracic surgery at New Delhi. The Association of Surgeons of India instituted an oration in the memory of Dr. Ramesh Nigam in 2002. Thank you.
It's my pleasant duty to read this citation for Dr. Kumkum Singh. Dr. Kumkum Singh completed her MBBS in 1976 and obtained her master's degree in 1980. She has had a dedicated and devoted service at the Jayaland Medical College, Ajmer, Rajasthan of 31 years, commencing as an assistant professor in surgery in 1983, right through the various levels in the Department of Surgery to finally retire in 2014, after being the head of the department for over 6 years. Dr. Kumkum Singh developed into a very popular lady surgeon with her very smiling and patient personally complimenting her very soft and sure surgical skills. She has championed the early detection of breast cancer in the Ajmer region through regular awareness camps. As an academician, she has always been a very popular teacher and examiner. She has been prolific with presentations at various surgical meets across the country and also been chosen to address esteemed surgical audience in Beijing and Shanghai in China and Tokyo and Cairo. Besides this, she has been part of the authorship of 28 in-text publications. Dr. Kumkum Singh has brought grace and dignity into the administrative and organizational aspects of the surgical life by being the president of the Association of Surgeons of India Rajasthan chapter in 2010-2011, a governing council member of the National Association of Surgeons of India for 2 terms from 2010 to 2016, and as president of Association of Colorectal Surgeons of India between 2015 and 17. She is also one of the founder member of the Association of Breast Surgeons of India. Into his fabric of busy surgical life, Dr. Kumkum Singh has led a very active and successful family life. Married to Dr. S.S. Singh, a physician, they also run a popular private medical establishment in Ajmer. They have 2 sons who, in spite of the examples of the parents, were thrown into the modern live streams of information technology and are at high posts in Amazon and Google respectively. Dr. Kumkum Singh has been fingers to with a special interest in gardening, besides being adept at cooking mouth-watering delicious of all flowers. She is also a prolific reader of English literature and fiction. Finally, her strong religious beliefs has led her to visit the major temples of India, and she was even visited the famed Manasaur twice in recent years. The Association of Surgeons of India is proud, privileged, and honored to invite her, this accomplished lady surgeon, homemaker, and gifted individual, that Dr. Kumkum Singh is to deliver the very prestigious Dr. R.K. Nigam oration of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed Ismail, for the kind words of introduction. At the outset, I would like to thank the ASI for giving me this honor to present the prestigious Dr. R.K. Nigam oration. I salute the eminent surgeon, Dr. R.K. Nigam, from the bottom of my heart. And it is indeed a pleasure and privilege to give the oration in his memory. Today, I would be talking upon an interesting topic, that is artificial intelligence in surgery. Yesterday, our chief guest, Justice Raghuram Gowda, also stressed upon the use of artificial intelligence in the forthcoming days. And I would be like introducing or running through the whole this thing about artificial intelligence. We all know that artificial intelligence has taken the world by storm at a pace that is difficult to ignore. It will change the way we work over the next 50 years. Today, we are surrounded by computer-based artificial intelligence technology in the form of smartphones, search engines, speech and facial recognition, self-driving cars, genome sequencing, energy-efficient buildings, language translation, and virtual reality models. According to Albert Einstein, computers are fast, accurate, but stupid. Humans are slow, inaccurate, but brilliant. And together they are powerful beyond imagination. The 21st century saw advances in computer technology, which led to an enormous change in delivering of the healthcare. Surgery, which started from open, changed to laparoscopic to robotic, and now we have the tele-robotic surgery. Many technical advances occurred in the field of diagnostics, imaging, pathology, and gene testing. So what is artificial intelligence? Per se, the study of algorithms that give machine the ability to reason and perform cognitive functions such as problem solving, object and word recognition, and decision making constitute artificial intelligence. Since we surgeons are going to see a lot of artificial intelligence in the forthcoming days, we should have a basic foundation knowledge about artificial intelligence. It constitutes machine learning, natural language processing, artificial neural networks, and computer vision. What is machine learning? It is the ability of the machine to learn through patterns and in turn make predictions on the basis of what it has learned. It could be supervised, where partially labeled data is fed into the system to teach the computer a function. It could be unsupervised, where the ability to learn from patterns within the data by itself. The computer retrieves information from unlabeled data on its own. And reinforcement learning is a computer science which is used for automatic training or action or prediction. For example, an artificial pancreas system is trained to measure and deliver insulin to a patient according to his blood glucose levels. The rate of learning is limited by the hardware and software capabilities of the computer. Natural language processing is a subfield of artificial intelligence that emphasizes building a computer to understand human language. It is crucial for large-scale analysis of content, such as the electromagnetic record data, especially the physician's narrative documentation. The NLP systems will also incorporate semantics and syntax into the analysis. In real time, in surgery patients, the NLP algorithms are used by systems to comb through large amount of EMR content to identify words and phrases in the operative reports and progressive notes that will predict any complications. For example, an anastomotic leak after colorectal surgery can be predicted with 100% specificity, sensitivity, and 72% specificity. Artificial neural networks can be compared to the human brain. It is comprised of computational units which receive input, perform evaluation, and transmit output. By using clinical variables such as patient history, length of stay, medication, BP, etc., the artificial neural networks have outperformed traditional risk prediction approaches. They will predict in-hospital mortality after open abdominal aortic aneurysm surgery with sensitivity of 97 and specificity of 96%. It can also predict severity of pancreatitis with greater sensitivity and specificity than the Apache scoring. The computer vision is the ability of the machine to acquire images and videos and interpret them in image-guided surgery, axial imaging, and virtual colonoscopy. In future, a surgeon would likely see artificial intelligence analysis of population and patient-specific data augmenting each phase of care. For example, preoperatively, a patient undergoing evaluation for bariatric surgery may be tracking his weight, glucose level, meals, activity parameters through a mobile application and fitness tracker, and the real-time data being fed into an electromedical record data. The automatic analysis of pre-op and clinical findings can provide a patient-specific risk score, and integrating the pre-op, intra-op, and post-op data could help to predict recovery and possible post-op complications to watch out for. Pathology and medical imaging are two branches of medicine which will see huge advances due to artificial intelligence because they are based on pattern recognition. The artificial intelligence uses feedback learning loops to actually learn and not mimic human action. The artificial intelligence part robots will be able to independently make sense of their surroundings, recognize problems, and create action plans. The feedback loops will allow AI to better itself every time and literally learn from mistakes, thus incrementally reducing errors and increasing success rates. Success will depend upon the diversity of data and input being fed into the AI systems, like the complex problems, case studies, and their solutions, etc. All possible permutations and combinations will be fed into the AI-powered computers. But there's a caveat to it, that the data being provided to the neural networks must be accurate, not just adequate, so that the system does not learn from misinformation. And human experts will always be required to teach the AI systems how to perform procedures to ensure that these systems operate as designed and deal with unintended consequences in an expeditious manner. Thus, artificial intelligence will augment and not replace human intelligence. In 1985, Kawasaki Puma was the first robot which was modified to take biopsy from brain at a calculated depth and angle with exact precision. In 1990, the US Defense Advanced Research Project Agency used robots with computer technology to treat injured soldiers on the battlefield. But it was in 2000 when the first Da Vinci robot was introduced, which revolutionized surgical procedures. The types of robotic appliances which are available today, we all know about the Da Vinci. The stereotaxis is a cardiac catheterization used in cardiac catheterization. Accuracy is used for cancerous tumor irradiation. Medtronics and Mesa are used for spinal and neurological procedures. Strykers, Myco is used in orthopedics, hip and knee replacement. Neosis is used in dental implants, and restoration robotics are used in hair transplant. Da Vinci was a classical example of the master-slave robot, where the surgeon sitting at the console would guide the operating arms to perform the surgery. Then came the partially autonomous cyberknife, and now we have the fully autonomous smart tissue autonomous robot. By autonomous, we mean the ability to perform intended tasks based on current state and sensing without human intervention. What was the rationale for developing these autonomous robots? The human surgical performance is dictated by numerous physical, mental, and technical variables which are difficult to quantify. Factors for any procedure are functional outcomes, complication rates, and survival. the artificial intelligence-enabled surgical robots will decrease technical error and operative time. The proposed futures framework for these robots would be they will have ability to see, think, act without human intervention to achieve a predetermined surgical goal safely and effectively. 3 parameters define this task, that is mission complexity, environmental difficulty, and human independence. For this, they will have visual and physical sensors to perceive the environment and record sensory information, a central process to receive sensory input, process and calculate output, for physical and mechanical actuators for physical task completion. Due to highly deformable nature of the soft tissue environment, presence of delicate and hollow organs susceptible to perforation, achieving a clinically viable versatile autonomous device will require a lot of technical development and skill. The smart tissue autonomous robot was the first example of robots being assisting surgeon by artificial intelligence, and it was reported in 2016 by Shademan, who completed an in vivo anastomosis of porcine intestine using STAR. These robots will perform surgical intervention like intestinal anastomosis without human support with the help of visual and haptic sensors. Small soft robots with autonomous functionalities built with 3D printers will be introduced into the human body through small incisions, and these robots will monitor all vital signs during surgery, give verbal warning, determine surgical margins in solid tumors, apply appropriate surgical technique with zero margin of error, and calculate possible post-operative complications beside increasing vision and eliminating tremors. So what does the future hold for us? In future, we will see more information exchange via cloud services amongst the surgical robots. AI will offer more than just extension of surgeon's hands. At the simplest level, a surgeon could view data, animations, videos, simulations, and real-time interaction applicable to a case. But at the advanced level, it will provide real-time guidance and advice during a procedure, which will be based on machine learning algorithms from thousands of cases stored in cloud and accessed when needed. For example, a visual overlay inside the surgical space could indicate where the critical blood vessels lie behind the current operating space and advise the surgeon to steer clear of that area. AlphaZero, a new AI artificial intelligence tool which is capable of self-learning, and DeepMind, a subsidiary of Google, have developed a new software tool called the CDS, that is Clinical Decision Support. The CDS uses an algorithm that can help with the patient's assessment and could decide which way to go to improve outcome of surgery. Through access to a large database, the algorithm assesses patient's personal information, his radiology, pathology, biochemistry reports, etc. And it also integrates the surgeon's profile, such as his experience and his complication rates, and identifies which surgeon is best suited to perform that specific surgery on that particular patient. The CDS data will also guide the operating surgeon in decision making. The top robotic systems which are in vogue these days, we all know about the Da Vinci, which is used in various operations for cardiology, urology, gynecology, colorectal, and eye. The Eon by Intuitive, designed by Intuitive in February 2019, it is used to perform minimal invasive procedures inside the lung. The robotic catheter navigates through airways to reach the disease site, and it locks in upon reaching the targeted tissue with precision using optic shape sensing technology. Mako by Stryker is a robotic assisted device used in partial and total hip and knee replacement. Nano by Smith and Nephew was introduced in April 2018 and is also used in orthopedic surgery. Uses bone mapping to use 3D image. There are certain recent advances in the AI systems like the antibacterial nanorobots, which are tiny machines which can actually clear the bacterial infection directly from the patient's blood. Endoscopy bots, they are tiny Carli robots taken orally. They can gather data, take pictures, and biopsy too from the digestive tract. Nanorobots are specially used in neurosurgery to optimize repair of transected axons in spinal cord injuries, in vascular surgery, repair of aneurysms, and in oncology for tumor mapping and tumor radiation mapping of the tumors. OlseBot is a new chip on the block where a light part robot made from hydrogel to operate inside the body. It is controlled by an external beam of light to push it along, and it is used as a drug delivery vehicle or to surgically repair the tissues. Now we are into the field of telerobotics, and it was in 1995 that the first telerobotic surgery took place in Italy, where the first prosthetic biopsy was done by telerobotic manipulation. In 2001, the French surgeon in New York performed telerobotic cholecystectomy on a patient in Strasbourg in France. And India is not far lacking behind in telerobotics. And in 2018, the world's first telerobotic coronary intervention was done by Dr. Tejasvi Patel in Ahmedabad, 32 kilometers away from Akshardham. The USA Defense Organization plans to introduce trauma pod by 2025, which will be capable of operating on soldiers in battlefield by the telerobotics. Artificial intelligence is useful in various branches of surgery, but in colorectal surgery, it has created a lot of work. It is changing the face of colorectal screening. The colonoscopy miss rates for polyps can be as high as 12%, and artificial intelligence uses optical pathology algorithm to diagnose accurately 99% polyps to be removed, left alone, resect or discard. Artificial intelligence will alleviate documentation and reporting burden of endoscopists, increase the adenoma detection rate, and lessen cost of pathology. It is extremely helpful in detection of flat and serrated lesions from endoscopy images using the CAD system. Newer technologies emerging which may help endoscopists determine the depth of submucosal invasion of various parts of a lesion. It will guide the endoscopist to go for deeper submucosal dissection for a complete removal. The Mayo Clinic has done trials using advanced imaging with AI tools and blue light imaging for detection of such lesions. We all know the shortcomings of flexible colonoscopy are missing small and early lesions and inability to detect deep-seated lesions. A new technique which is based on optical coherence tomography detects the reflection of light from normal and diseased tissue and is highly sensitive to precancerous and early cancerous changes. The lower figure you can see shows a normal colonic mucosa, whereas the early part, the upper film photograph shows a cancerous tissue. Early stage colorectal cancers can be detected using artificial intelligence and whole genome sequencing of cell-free DNA. Cell-free DNA is a blood-based test and its measurement is under study. This is challenging because only small proportion of cell-free DNA is available in the early stage disease. However, using artificial intelligence approach based on machine learning to discover signatures in DNA reflection of tumor represents a promising direction of early colorectal cancer detection. Also, artificial intelligence models were used after performing endoscopic resections of T1 colorectal tumors to predict future lymph node metastasis. And these models analyzed 45 clinico-pathological factors and then predicted future positivity or negativity of lymph node metastasis with 100% sensitivity, confidence interval 95%, and specificity with 66%. Thus, artificial intelligence significantly decreased the unnecessary additional surgery. Laser endoscopy is a new endoscopy modality which creates clear and bright images using short wavelength narrowband laser light, and its advantage is that it enhances the color of lesions. It makes it possible to distinguish adenomatous and non-adenomatous polyps based on color evaluation of linked color images. Adenomas appear as deep red and non-adenomatous appear as yellow or white. The newer advances using the statistical analysis system, visual data mining, and machine learning, the accuracy of chemotherapy to shrink metastatic colorectal tumors is assessed. It provides total volume of tumor and 3D images of each secondary tumor. The cell search system is an FDA-approved methodology of isolating and evaluating the circulating tumor cells in metastatic colorectal, breast, and prostatic cancer based on new magnetic technology using ferrofluids. Artificial intelligence can also predict recurrence. Normally, regular follow-up and checkups are required for noting recurrence and second primary malignancy. But with machine learning, a feasible, robust method to identify factors which are responsible for recurrence and second primary malignancy has been devised by applying the big data analysis method. The future medical technology breakthroughs will build from incredible progress made in computers, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and human genome. Artificial intelligence will not only help in planning complex surgery, order the robots to perform surgery, and during operation, able to see what's happening inside, but with the help of an intelligent surgical knife, the vaporized smoke is analyzed using mass spectrometer to determine chemicals depicting presence or absence of malignancy in real time. However, there are drawbacks of robotic surgeries that these complications of robotics can range from conversions to permanent damage to viscera and nerves. And most importantly, the human ability to deal with complex surgical procedures, complications, and the instant personal solutions may diminish potential of artificial intelligence in surgery. There is a strong influence and pressure of the manufacturer over the hospital and surgeon to perform these surgeries. There is increased cost and media hype. Wrong results and predictions may occur due to lack of data or error in feeding the data. And the machine learning models need to be trained and retained continuously and require lots and lots of data input to be trained in contrast to human intelligence. Various malfunctions reported with robotics, maybe system errors, video loss of video, imaging problems, broken pieces falling into the surgical or body cavity, electrical arcing, unintended or unstoppable movements started without the surgeon's command, instruments not recognized by the system, etc. There are certain ethical issues also involved. On OT, the patient trusts the doctors and the nurses. Imagine a robot in the room. Would the same trust be there or fear? There are two types of trust, that is cognitive based on knowledge and evidence, and affective, which is based on emotional ties with others. So for robotic surgery, patients will have to not only understand the working of robot, but also the possibility of errors. Again, valid informed consent is promised on disclosure of appropriate information to a competent patient who is authorized to make a voluntary
So
choice.
we are sorry for the interruption. Time is almost up.
No, just 2 minutes more. In
Sure.
consenting to robotic surgery, it is assumed that the patient understands the black box of artificial intelligence, understands the usage errors and potential impact of AI system, and is free from fear, bias, confusion, and overconfidence with AI systems. Rarely can the patient make sense of all three. To solve this ethical dilemma, the coders and designers must make simple, transparent software programs. Medical device companies must ensure quality control and adequate training. Healthcare teams must be adequately exposed and trained. Hospitals must claim organizational responsibility to provide training and also establish protocols and practice guidelines. FDA and others must approve usage in patients, and AI should be incorporated in the medical curriculum. The fear of the autonomous robots would be whether it will be feasible in developing countries. Data privacy concerns would be there. Mismanaged care due to machine error and lack of human supervision. Time alone can tell what lies ahead. This was a article which appeared in November 2018 in UK, where the surgical robot botches surgery, kills man on the operating table while the doctors sip latte. Another question is, when a surgeon makes a mistake, the patient sues the doctor, but who will the patient sue if the robot makes a mistake? And again, this was just an interesting article. A human being just triumphed over the IBM's artificial intelligence debating machine. So to conclude, human intelligence is God's greatest gift. We must use technology to supplement, but not replace it. And in this universe, we are given two gifts, the ability to love and the ability to question. Artificial intelligence can perform many difficult tasks, but lacks these. Thank you for a patient hearing. And once again, I thank the ASI for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kumkum, and also all the chairpersons. Thank you so much.